Welcome back to the Media Unrestricted podcast. I'm Chase.
And I'm Dylan.
We don't have a lot of news today, but we do have some good news to talk about, though. Starting it off with the Spider-Man Far From Home released their first poster for the movie, and it's really nice. It kind of just gives you, I think, everything you really need to know. You see Spider-Man in his Iron Spider suit with the Doctor Octopus's tentacles coming at him, and then you see like a lightning strike, which would mean for Electro. I feel like it looks like sand kind of in the background. Dylan, you think that's what that is? Maybe whenever you give yours, do you think that's what that is? And um, and then in the far back, you can barely see him. People have enhanced it so it looks better, so you can see it. You've seen Green Goblin, and he looks just like he did for Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie. And I love this poster. It does everything it needs to. It shows what it needs to, and definitely gets me more excited for this movie. I can't wait for it. Only actually just a couple months. Actually next month. Spider-Man Far From Home, and it's coming. It's close. But Dylan, what did you think of this poster?
I pretty much agree with everybody on the internet that this is seemingly like everyone on the internet pretty much thinks that this is a pretty lazily put together poster. Like if everyone knows who follows Spider-Man Far From Home or Spider-Man No Way Home, excuse me, there was a poster that was leaked last week that showed basically this poster on the side of buses in Australia. Although the background didn't have villains in it, it was the background of like a mirror dimension New York. But like just like the internet says, I think this is like a sloppily put together poster. Like I feel like a lot of the stuff in the background just doesn't make sense. Like it's when you look at it, like it's cloudy and everything, but yet look on Spider-Man, his armor, he's got like sunlight reflections, but it's supposed to be cloudy. Like I don't know. This is just a really sloppily put together poster. And before anyone says anything, no, the bottom left and bottom right, those aren't faces or anything. That's just your brain playing tricks on you. That's what they call pareidolia, where you see faces where there aren't really faces. No, the one on the right isn't Ultron, and the one on the bottom left isn't Mephisto. That's just pareidolia. So those are all just embers from the fire that's smoldering around them. You can see there's fire down there. So those aren't faces or anything. But yeah, this is a pretty sloppily put together poster. And also, Chase, it is pretty much confirmed. Actually, I think it is confirmed that behind Spider-Man, that is Sandman. So yeah, you're right there. That is Sandman. I know we just got done talking about the poster. One more thing I want to bring up is that on this show, all of our listeners and watchers know that I bring up John Campea a lot because I agree with a lot of his takes on movies and stuff like that. But he posted something yesterday that went viral. Now, he posted what he thought were fake pictures from Spider-Man No Way Home. And John Campea hates leaks and all that. He's gone on record many times saying he hates leaks and spoilers. And I'm going to probably have them shown on screen, just like flashed on screen real quick, just once. And just so you know, that these are just a spoiler warning just in case, okay? I'm going to have a spoiler warning thing on the screen just in case they're spoilers. But I will flash up each picture one time. There are two pictures. The first picture involves Peter, Aunt May, Happy, and Charlie Cox's Daredevil sitting around a table. And the scene is described by Tom Holland himself. Now, he didn't say Charlie Cox was in the scene, but he did say he rewatched a scene where people are sitting around a dinner table and they talk about what it means to be a hero. And he said he's having the conversation with Aunt May, Happy, and an unnamed hero that's sitting there with them. And there's no telling if this picture is real or not. A lot of people think it is. A lot of people think it might be photoshopped. I am of the opinion that it's real, but that's just me personally. The second picture is um, of Tom Holland, Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker, and Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker all standing on like a scaffolding next to some water, and you can see light bouncing off their face. This is the one that a lot of people think might be fake, and John Campea went on record saying he thinks it's fake mainly because like the lighting and stuff is off in it and all that stuff. And so those are the two pictures, and those are the two descriptions of the pictures I have for you. You can easily find the pictures online if you want to see them, or you can pause them on the frame that I put them in here on, if you want to get a better look at them. But yeah, that's pretty much it in regards to those pictures. John Campea says he would never do anything to endanger his relationship with studios and all of that. And I personally 100% believe him. I've been watching the man for years, and there's no way he would do something like this intentionally to spoil people, especially when he's gone on record multiple times saying he hates spoilers. So that's just my opinion on that, and we're just gonna move right along.
And moving on to more Marvel news with our Eternals review. And if you saw our Out of the Theater thoughts, me and Dylan both enjoyed the film. Going in, whenever I was seeing this movie, I heard the reviews. We talked about it on last week's episode, that they were mixed and kind of bad. So I I saw that. It kind of did worry me for a minute, but it's just like, just got to go in with your own thoughts. And I thought this movie was so much fun. I think it does a lot of good, just a few bad things, but I know I've seen people that I know who have saw it. Some people like it and some people don't. Some people think it's a long, boring movie, which I don't by any means think it is that at all. The main negative, if I have to give one, is the villain. I really thought he was really bad. I mean, he barely was in there. I thought he was bad. But the deviants were really cool. They had really cool designs. It looked pretty damn badass at times. But the villain just did not work for me. But Angelina Jolie, she did. Her character worked for me so much. I was so surprised because I am not that big of an Angelina Jolie fan. I've seen movies she's in, but nothing's ever impressed me. But she was actually my favorite character in this whole movie. She was great. I loved her character so much, and I can't wait to see more of her in future installments of movies. But Richard Madden's character, he reminded me a lot of Superman. And the funniest thing is, he gets a Superman reference. There's like two DC references in this Marvel movie. One for Superman, and I think the other one was for Batman. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dylan, but I think it was Batman. But there was DC references in a Marvel movie. That is crazy to me because that's just something I never expected. But his character reminded me of Superman, and I don't know if that was done on purpose or if that's really how his character is, but I mean, I liked it. I mean, for a point, I liked his character. I kind of just thought he wasn't amazing by any means, but I mean, there's points I really did like him. The Sprite, kind of her cool power of like changing whatever she wanted to, that was cool. I like that. The Slentials, I'm pronouncing that wrong, whatever. Um, I liked them. They were really cool, and I was excited really going into this movie to learn more about them. And it was really cool to see them on the big screen because they look awesome. They just look awesome seeing on like an IMAX screen. They always just look great. Um, the ending, um, the ending is really cool and interesting because after they stop the Celestial from coming up from the thing starting their, I forget what it was called. Um, it's the main girl, which I forgot to get her name down, and uh look, Kate Kate Harrington. Um, they kind of have a love connection kind of thing going on, um, and then the remaining of the Eternals are sent up to talk to the one Celestial, and He tells them that more or less um, you chose to save the people, so your actions are in their hands. So, and then it kind of they disappear, and that's where it ends. So it kind of sets you up for what happens after that. Um, and I know at the end of the last credit scene, it does say the Eternals will be back. So I know it hasn't been promised, but it looks like Eternals 2 will be coming. But let's get to those end credit scenes. The first one, I think, is the one that I feel like you're getting the most talk about, and I know Dylan's gonna have a lot to probably say about it. But Harry Styles is Star Fox, which which is Thanos' brother, which there was rumors and everything going in that that's who it was going to be, and so the rumors are true. Harry Styles is in the MCU as Star Fox. Not sure what he's going to be doing. I know he's going to be trying to help the Eternals, so um, I don't know. I just really don't think we need every single person to be in the MCU. You don't need it, but I'm definitely gonna give him a shot. I'd love to see what he does. But in the second end credit scene, uh, Black Knight, which is Kate Harrington, I think he's like gonna get his sword. But then a mystery voice comes from behind, and then it cuts to black. So who's that mystery voice? They may have already figured it out by now. So Dylan, if they have, please let me know. But I don't know who it is, and it kind of those end credit scenes were, I mean, they're good, but they're not like top like end credit scenes. Like, oh my god, those are awesome, I love them. But I mean, I give this movie a 7.5. This movie was so much fun. I enjoyed it. I think more than Black Widow. Still Shang Chi, I think was the best Marvel movie, but I really think Spider Man's going to be the best one. But yeah, that's going to be our next MCU movie, Spider Man No Way Home. So, Dylan, what is your full review?
Okay, so I want to start off by talking about the end credit scenes. Um, when it comes to the Star Fox one, Harry Styles, I've changed my tune a little bit from how it was in the theater because I had that spoiled for me by the dumbass fucking reporter. I think of dumbass Variety reporter who spoiled the post credit scene right out of the red carpet premiere, and he got completely chastised for it on Twitter by everybody. People calling him out and everything, which rightfully so, because he was a dick for doing that. And I've changed my tune on this. Harry Styles being Thanos' brother makes sense when you know about like comic books and like how stuff went, because Thanos himself, I think they said, is an Eternal, but he has a deviant gene. So it makes sense if Thanos didn't have a deviant gene, he would probably look just like the rest of them, you know. So I mean, him being a big bulky purple guy is because of that deviant gene, and if he didn't have the deviant gene, he would look just like the rest of them. So I mean, that's changed my tune on that substantially from being a face palm like wow that's ridiculous to okay I can kind of understand it when I know like everything that's going on with Thanos and his backstory. As for the second end credit scene, Kit Harrington uh, getting his sword. I'm sorry I'm forgetting the name of it, but in the comic books that sword is supposed to be cursed, and whoever wields it, I think, um, just I think becomes evil or something. I think they can't stop killing or something. I don't know. But yeah, you mentioned the voice at the end of that post credit scene. It's been confirmed by Chloe Zhao, the director of the movie Eternals, that that voice is Mahershala Ali, and we all know who that is. That's Blade. So yes, Blade is talking to Kit Harrington at the post credit scene of that. So that Blade Disney Plus show is going to be coming sooner rather than later, and I'm wondering if maybe this is going to be the jumping off point for that, or if maybe Kit Harington is going to be in the Blade show. We just don't know at this point. But getting into my Eternals review, I agree with you. I adored this movie. I said in the Fresh Out of the Theater Thoughts video that the critics were fucking wrong, and they were. Okay, like all of the Eternals were played really well. Um, the Druid character was great, you know. Makari, she's obviously the best speedster in all of comic book stuff. Like Makari is best speedster. She's better than Flash. People can fight me on that. Selma Hayek's character was great. She was supposed to be the leader of the Eternals, especially in the eyes of Arishem the Judge. And like as soon as she died, her leadership role was passed over to Cersei, or Cersei, excuse me, not Cersei, Cersei. And we learned throughout the movie that Icarus is actually the true villain of this. Chase, I think you thought maybe that leader of the Deviants, I forgot what his name is, was supposed to be the villain of this movie. He was only in it for like a really small period of time. I think Icarus is meant to be the true villain of this movie because at the end, he was the one that was pretty much trying to stop them from, was trying to stop the Eternals from stopping the emergence. So I really think Icarus is meant to be the true villain in this. But whenever he realizes that he truly loves Cersei, even though like they've been separated and like she loves Dane Whitman, Black Knight, he sees that he was wrong and he ends up flying into the sun and all that, and they end up stopping the emergence. And Sprite becomes a human girl, and since they stopped the emergence, what's his name? I just said it. Or Arishem the Judge, like appears in the sky. Like normal people can see him. It would be terrifying to witness. And he comes and picks up Cersei. Oh man, what's his name? I'm forgetting his character. He's the Indian character. And who else does she pick up? I think that Druid. No, Druid's on the ship. I think it's just them two, maybe. And Fastos. That's right. Fastos, Cersei, and forgot what his name is, but yeah, the Indian character played by I think his name's Kumail Nanjiani. Could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is. And he says, you have delayed the emergence for this to save this planet. I'll look over your memories and determine whether or not this planet is deemed worthy." And he just straight up takes them away, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. Like Chase said, at the end of the credits, it says that the Eternals will return. So I'm assuming maybe he's going to return and either say he either deems the planet not worthy and they have to try to stop him, or he's going to come back and they'll deem it worthy and they'll just do something else with the story from there. But this movie was so good. It's not the best Marvel movie though. Like Chase said, I'll have to give that to Shang-Chi so far. But I will give this, I'd say, I think I liked it maybe a little bit more than Chase did, maybe not. I'm probably going to give this an 8. I can't remember what I gave Shang-Chi. I think I might have given it like a 9 or a 9.5. But I'm going to give this an 8, like just a solid 8. I don't remember what I gave it in my first out of the theater. But I'm saying it now in my full review. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. I thought it was that good, and that pretty much lines up with what other fans think of it too. Especially because on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it has around a 78, between a 78 and an 80, somewhere around there right now on the fan side. And that's where I pretty much stand with Eternals. And the next Marvel movie that will be coming out is Spider-Man Far From Home, or Spider-Man No Way Home, excuse me, like Chase mentioned. And we'll have a fresh out of theater review for that as well. Another thing I want to mention real quick. Next week is the Ghostbusters Afterlife premiere. And be sure to look out for our fresh out of the theater review for that.
And moving on to our next topic, Morbius trailer 2 released right after we did the last, I think it was on the same day of our last episode, so we didn't get to talk about it. And I love this trailer. I really did. I loved this trailer so much. And it has, I think, made this movie my most excited for movie of 2022, which is really crazy to think because we have Halloween Ends, Scream, and everything else. But I think Morbius is now my most excited for movie of 2022. And I cannot wait to see this movie. Um, I don't know, Dylan, have you read any of the comics or anything? But these comics are insane, man. I love these Morbius comics. I have a few of them myself, and they are all so good. Um, but in this trailer, it's kind of there's a lot of the shots from what we saw in the first one, and then during the trailer they have the "People Are Strange" song, which is the original versions by the Who, but there's another version, which I think is called by Echo and the Bunnyman, which is what this one is, which is from the Lost Boys, and I think that was done on purpose. I think they played it. It's because Lost Boys is a vampire movie. And I love that song. I love that version. And I just think it fit this trailer so perfect. And I love all the Spider Man and Venom references. This movie is going to be very interesting to see because we had references of Spider Man from Tobey Maguire's. We had Andrew Garfield. And we've had Tom Holland's. And now we've had Venom. So this is going to be interesting to see where and where this movie's going to be going in to. Will we go into the MCU? Will Spider-Man moving back to Sony? I know that's been something that's being talked about. I don't know. um, I loved it all. It's great stuff. I just love this trailer so much. um, I think Jared Leto's going to knock it out of the park. I'm hoping for an R rating. I really don't know if we're going to get it though, just because I want it to, to be, but if we don't, I'll be fine with it no matter what, because I'm really so excited for this movie. This film drops January 28th, 2022. So, really, only about 2 months away. It's not that far. And, Dylan, what did you think of this trailer, man? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think?
Yeah, like you, I really liked it. Like you said, I really liked the Spider-Man and Venom references. We got all the same Spider-Man references from the original trailer that came out about 2 years ago, but we also got a little cool Easter egg. We got an Easter egg mentioning something about this is like how, or we don't want another repeat of what happened in San Francisco, possibly referencing Venom or Venom Let There Be Carnage. And then we also get a thing at the end of the trailer where Morbius says something like, I am Venom. And as a joke, he's like, I'm just kidding, Dr. Michael Morbius at your service. And then that's where the trailer ends, pretty much. But throughout it, like we see, he gets his powers. He says he has some form of bat radar. He can fly. Like he's got like he turns into like a vampire with like pointy teeth and everything. Um, but I don't know if I'd necessarily say it's my most anticipated movie of 2022, especially after you listed a few of the great ones that are coming out, like Halloween Ends and Scream 5, and you're forgetting Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness comes out in, I think, either March or April of next year. It was originally slated for February. I think it might have got pushed back to March, maybe. But like you're forgetting Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I think for me, as of right now, that one is my more anticipated of the year. But we'll see how it stacks up whenever this movie actually does come out. And just like all the other movies, we will have a fresh out of the theater thoughts video for you on this one as well.
And moving on to our next topic, moving on to TV show news. Stranger Things season 4 has been date released. There's been a lot of things with Stranger Things. I mean, we've talked about it a couple times on the show with a couple of previews and everything. But there is no exact date, but it will be released in summer of 2022. But that's a release window that's really big, though. So, I mean, who knows? That could be July, August, who knows? Um, but it's going to be 9 episodes long. Um, and Netflix has also released, they shared the episode titles for every season 4 episode. So, I mean, I'm so excited for Stranger Things season 4. I have loved all 3 seasons so far. I think they have been an absolute blast and nothing but greatness. Um, But Dylan, what did you think, man, of finally getting a release date? 'Cause, it's been a while. I feel like since we've had been talking about Stranger Things season four. So, man, what did you think about this?
This is honestly the first I'm hearing about it. I didn't even know they said the release date. Like you said, yeah, summer of 2022 is a pretty big it's a pretty big time frame. That's a 3 month time frame. I'm gonna assume they mean in July because I think that's whenever they said summer for the other seasons. It came out around July 4th. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that's probably a good bet as to when this one's gonna come out. And on the screen I have the nine um, episode titles, and I mean from what it looks like is these are gonna be some wild episodes. The article I'm showing also mentions that season four is gonna take the show from Hawkins, Indiana, to California. I'm guessing Will and his family moved to California from Indiana, so I'm wondering how all that's gonna play out and what they're gonna do. Um, I'm just interested to see where the season four goes because I think season five is going to be the last one. At least that's what the Duffer Brothers I think said they were going to do. They only had plans for 5 seasons, so I think we'll just have to wait and see what they have planned for this season and what their plans are to end it off next season.
And moving on to our last topic of the day, Superman and Lois season two. It has its release date, and it actually have a full date, which will be January 11th, 2022. Superman and Lois was an amazing show this year. I loved it so much. And I am so excited when they announced season two. I think it was a gimme because this show, I think, just hit the fans perfect. I don't think people had the high expectations they did, but whenever they saw it, I think everybody was pleased and happy. And I just can't wait to see what season two brings. Um, if it's just going to be as good as this first season, what villains could we be seeing in season two? I mean, I just can't wait. So excited. Uh, they have just knocked it out of the park. Brought Superman kind of back because I mean, Smallville. I mean, I think people liked it a lot. I just don't think as much. And then we've had Man of Steel, of course. But I mean, I just think this iteration of Superman is one of my favorites. And the show will also continue to air on Tuesday nights on the CW, so nothing changed there. But January 11th, it will be back, and I cannot wait. So, Dylan, what do you think? I mean, I know you love Superman and Lois. What is your full thoughts on us finally getting a release date? Are you going to be watching season two? Are you excited? Where are you at about that right now?
Okay, is it just me or does it seem like Superman and Lois season 2, like the premiere, like this was to me this seems like a really quick turnaround from the end of last season. Like from what I know, they were still filming the show like the first season while it was airing. And that was airing like at the middle of this year in April, May, June, like around that time frame. And you're telling me that they were still filming season 1 around that time and now they're already ready for season 2? Unless like that just seems like a huge quick turnaround, at least in my opinion. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I just hope it's going to be good with that quick of a turnaround because I don't want any shoddy CGI or anything like that, like in that gross Supergirl show. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited for this. What I really want in season 2, I really want some other DC character, like either cameos or like some other DC hero mentions. Like I want them to like mention Batman or like have some kind of Easter egg relating to Batman or Wonder Woman or Flash or something. Like I understand this is a Superman show, but like this is supposed to be like in the DC universe. So like I want to see some references to other heroes as well to know that they are in this universe as well, like they should be, and just like get all those references in there. I really want to hear those references. But yeah, I am really hyped about this, and we will definitely have our review for those episodes when that premieres.
And then let's get those box office numbers. I forgot to get that earlier in the show. So, Dylan, will you read us off those box office numbers?
Yes, Chase, I have the box office numbers right here on the screen. I'll just have to move our logo real quick. I got it. Um, I have the numbers right here on the screen for this latest weekend of November 5th through the 7th. And number one, unsurprisingly, is Eternals with a 71.3 million domestic opening. And I don't think really anybody doubted that. A lot of people knew it would make a ton of money because, I mean, Marvel movies make tons of money anyway. Hanging in there at number two is Dune with 7.8 million, which I'm glad because I loved that movie. I know Chase didn't, but I really love that movie. James Bond: No Time to Die is at 6 million. Venom: Let There Be Carnage is really hanging in there in the top 5. It's at number 4 right now, which is surprising cuz it's been out for, let's see, it's November. It's been out for like a good like month, 2 months now, I think, right? Cuz didn't it come out like at the end of September, like September 28th or something? And then Ron's Gone Wrong right there at 3.6 million. So that's your top 5 for the latest weekend of November 5th through the 7th of the domestic. And going on through the latest dailies from starting yesterday on Monday, November 8th, Eternals raked in 4.2 million. No Time to Die raked in 525,000. Venom raked in 300,000. The French Dispatch raked in 265,000. And the movie that Chase saw recently, Antlers, brought in 185,000. So those are the latest dailies right there.
And moving on to our fun question of the day. I know we didn't do one last week because we had a full stack show, but we will do one this week. And kind of the case of the Morbius trailer, I wanted to do a fun one. What is your favorite vampire movie? Um, Mine is easily The Lost Boys. I love, love, love the first Lost Boys movie. It is 80s perfection at its finest. It's got great music, great people. I mean, just nails everything. That great 80s vibe. Um, David, which is played by Kiefer Sutherland, is my favorite character. I love him every single time I watch this movie. I just kind of want to one time just dress up as like him. Just, I don't know, it's just badass. I love the soundtrack in this movie. I actually own the CD. It is a perfect soundtrack. I think it's my favorite soundtrack of any movie or anything. I love it so much. The sequels are just bleh. I do not like them, and I think there's been rumors of they're gonna remake the show and turn it into a TV show. I hope not. Please don't touch the Lost Boys. It is nothing but perfection. But Dylan, do you like any vampire movies? If so, what is your favorite?
Well, going into my favorite, I would probably have to say, oh man, this is hard. Mainly because like I haven't seen very many vampire movies. Like I haven't even seen The Lost Boys personally. I haven't seen very many vampire movies, so I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite. But one vampire movie I have seen that I guess I could say I liked mainly because like I like the person it's based around and like the time period and stuff. And that is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Now I know it's a silly movie, you know, Abraham Lincoln hunts vampires and in the 1800s and all that, but like when you watch it, it's like it's an Abraham Lincoln sort of historical movie, but yet he hunts vampires on the side pretty much. The movie revolves around pretty much Abraham Lincoln's doing everything that he did, but yet there's the threat of vampires. And at one point in the movie, he gets people to give them his silver so he can melt it down and create like silver bullets and silver stakes and all that stuff to kill vampires with. And obviously, with this being Abraham Lincoln, you know how it ends. Like Abraham Lincoln dies in the theater, you know. So it ends pretty much how it does in real life. And I think from what I remember, the vampires in this movie were kind of cool too. Like I don't know. I just remember really liking this when I saw it, and I mean, at the moment, this is pretty much the only vampire movie I know. And from what I remember, I did like it. So I think this would probably have to be my choice right here.
And thank you for listening to this week's episode. We really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and we will talk to you all next week.